Hi, I'm Charlotte and I'm studying media. What will follow in the next couple of months is a documentary on what it takes to produce a quality show in order to raise money for a very important charity. I have unprecedented access to the directors, conductors, singers, and musicians that come together each year in order to raise thousands of pounds for the Chailey Heritage Foundation in Chailey, West Sussex. Over the coming months, we'll be following the people, decisions, and preparation it takes in order to make a successful show. To start, I visited Matt and Rachel Cowling and James Honners soon after their last show.
This now is not the time, is it? Really, you could do the Bond villain. Well, hello everybody. My name is Matt. I am one of the producers and founder of Jumbo Ensemble, and also I sing as one of the principal singers in the show. Well, in common with a lot of the other shows, in fact, all of the other shows we've done, what I want to do is to give people a number of things. So, as you know, we are supporting Chailey Heritage Foundation, and this is the second year we've done it. I think it's really important that people just take time to get to know what Chailey does. So if you jump on their website and have a look, and you'll see why it's important and why Jumbo Ensemble as a whole has kind of fallen in love with the place. So I want them to understand what Chailey's about. I would love them, and I will guarantee that they will have the best time by buying a ticket, by having a drink at the bar. Everything's there. Buying a raffle ticket, whatever you want to do. Just by doing that, you're helping Chailey, but also you're doing it whilst having a fabulous time. And I will guarantee you will walk out of the auditorium at Chailey absolutely exhausted because you've had such a good time. I was really, really pleased with last year's show. We kind of pushed all the boundaries, I think, all pushed the envelope, I think is the word, with the technical abilities of what we were able to do, and also a major sort of selling point for last year's show was the fact that we formed Jumbo Ensemble. We formed the choir. We haven't had a choir before. Our band, I like to think, turned into an orchestra because we were at 15 piece orchestra. The sound was amazing. The talent on the stage was, well, you for what, 16 quid, you get to see those people perform for you and put their heart and soul into it. They perform for everyone to come in, watch the play, watch the thing, but also they also fall in love with the whole Chailey experience. And performing it at Chailey, we kind of move a theatre into Chailey essentially. I think it's really good money, and this probably the same price this year as well. Would we do anything different? Yes. My vision is we'll probably be a bit tighter with things, a little bit more polished if when we can, if we can. Bearing in mind that everyone involved is a volunteer, everyone's got day jobs. Having said that, some of the musicians, of course, are professional. They do it for a living, and they, bless their hearts, they give us their time for nothing. But yeah, and we're also doing another. People will be familiar now with us using the technology, and also how we involve Chailey Heritage Foundation and the kids and the staff who work there and or go there. And this year we are pushing that again. So there'll be a fabulous experience people will have and see what Chailey is all about through the things we're doing. If that makes sense.
Yes.
How do I balance it? Well, I kind of manage my expectations. So I have a full-time job now, as you can already say. So that's my paid job. And then my second full-time job is in the bits where I'm not paid work. And it's and people know that whilst you know it as well as the fact that it's raises lots of money. And last year we raised £11,500, which is fabulous. But what I get from it is what I see around me and the people who take part in the thing, in the production. What they genuinely feel part of something bigger, and are just so excited and get a lot. I think get a lot from it. So that's what people tell me anyway, and that's really rewarding in itself. I think it's to advance the kind of live music piece as well. So nowadays it's especially on the amateur, so you don't get much live music. So I think we should have more of it, and we can. We've got a fabulous musical director James, who will just produce this beautiful score for us all. And excuse my dog, by the way. And hopefully we do it justice. Themes. I hope they come and it brightens their life even for a little minute. Last year we had quite an amazing run of three shows, and I saw people who hadn't danced for whatever reason get up and dance. Through they being physically not normally able to do it, but somehow they found the strength to do it. And there was some quite amazing sights that we saw, especially in the matinee version. I saw children from Chailey who were so excited by it that actually their carers got them out of their chair, and they were dancing with them. The feedback that we had was just about how happy people were when they left or during, and I think that's a real gift to be able to do that. So what would I like to take people to take away? That I think they're going to be happy, they're going to be entertained, and they're doing an incredible job by coming that Chailey directly benefit from. Well, the meeting today started at 7:30. It's now 10:10 on a Monday evening in December in 2024. And we have discussed between James, Rachel and I the set list and the flow of that set list. So what sounds right, who would sing what, the kind of feeling we want people to get, not only but by singing it, but the people who are watching this and hearing it. And there is a real art to doing this, I think, where it's a bit like a jigsaw. So you get the right pieces and it produces a lovely, the end effect it looks really cool. But it's worth spending the time now in order to do that, because when we come to starting rehearsals in 2025, everyone we'll rock up to the rehearsal venue and go, here we go, this is what we're doing, and then getting people enthused by it. So you would have seen tonight, we got quite enthused by just singing only bits of the songs, and yeah, that really rocks here and that really works there. And I think that's great fun. I get a lot from it. It's just brilliant because I can visualize how that will look on the stage at Chailey, and I get ridiculously excited about it. Well, of course, I will say me, but but it's a combination of and so I have ridiculous ideas, and then I turn to James and I say, James, can we do this? And then he'll go, and then then eventually he will let me down gently and say, well, we can't, or yeah, we could, but we need to do this, this, and this. So really, James does, because he's a musical director and that's his job. And I just look sulky if I can't do what I want to do. But we never get to any point. We haven't had a dud yet. I mean, for those people who are watching this, if you haven't been my God, you need to come, right? Ask people who you may know. Look us up on Facebook or Instagram. Have a look and see the kind of feedback we're getting. And people say this all the time, right? When they leave, well, I never thought I would get that. Well, I never thought it would be that good. I never thought it would be this. I never thought it would be that. And so much so that since we finished the last show in September of this year, folks have come back and donated more money to Chailey because they totally bought into it. And the other great thing is that we've been asked by a community group to go to them in May or whenever we do it, because some of them came and thought, oh, we want something. We want you to come to us. So James and I got to look into that, and getting everyone together. The really important thing to bear in mind is, so we all come together as a company to do this, and then everyone goes off and does their stuff, and then we just got to drag people back, kicking and screaming, never kicking and screaming, but that kind of thing. So yeah. It feels really cool. It feels really good. And I think this year's show, sorry, the September show we just done, I think I said to you when you came and had a look behind the scene, I think this is, I feel very privileged because actually what I'm able to do is to look at that set, look at what we've done and think this is what I had in my head. And that's a remarkable thing to be able to do, and to be able to work with everyone to make that happen. But of course it's happening not because I've decided we want to do it or anything. It's happening because these are good people doing the right thing and being part of something really good. So it's happening for Chailey Heritage Foundation. That's where it's all going, and it's an amazing feeling to have. And at the end of the last show, we sung the last song, Dancing Queen, and it was all over. And I thought, we got there again. James and I had a hug, and it's like, oh my God, we've done it again. We must be mad, but actually, of course, it's a brilliant thing to be involved in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Rachel Cowling. I am Matt's wife, so I have to be in it. And my role really, so it started off, and it still is mostly, I'm really the sort of administrator of it all. So I run all the background stuff, sort out all the licenses, all the money, paying people, getting money in, sponsorship, everything that is not involved in the music side of it. So that's really important. And when we have children, I have to sort out chaperones, so all that side of it. And then this year I was asked to go in the choir. So I'm also a choir member.
That's exciting.
I think really the people. So it's the journey. So when we first started it, we've met so many people on the way, so many different people from different walks of life, and it's just been really good. And you go through all the rehearsals, and even though I wasn't part of the rehearsals until this year when I joined the choir, I was always present at all the rehearsals, and you just see the show building up. And as I say, you just meet new characters. Makes life fun. Gives us to be singing in the choir was great because it meant that I felt much more included, whereas I always felt on the edge of it all. So I was always in the background, which is exactly what I wanted. I don't particularly like the limelight. So that was where I was. And then I thought, and several people said to me, you know what, you could sing, you could do this. And I decided to give myself the challenge. And it's been great. Yeah, I feel really much more part of it now. I feel this is what I need to keep doing.
Yeah. In your
That would be my husband, and occasionally James. They have all these ideas that sometimes need to be toned down, but mostly Matt's ideas that need to be toned down. We have chosen the title of the show.
Mm-hmm.
We have.
Would you like to say, or is it keep it a surprise?
I think I will tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If I can remember. It is the title of the show. It's a really good one. It's a really good one. Simply the best show you'll see this week. Well, there will be ongoing talks probably with the set list, because that definitely is not finished. That will be mostly really Matt and James thrashing stuff out. I will need to start talking to people on my side of things, the team, about sponsorship for next year, who we've secured. That will be my job, really. That's probably it this side of the year, because we're getting quite close to the end of it. And then next year will be the working out when rehearsals are going to start and building up to that, and getting the front of house team ready. Who's going to be in the front of house, and yeah, that's where we're going to be.
So my name's James, and I'm the musical director for Jumbo Ensemble. I've been with them since 2022. So this is my coming up for 4th production, I think, now. Yes, so I am responsible for all things music. So from choir arrangements to band parts, and then playing and conducting for the shows. So we are very fortunate. We seem to grow a bit every year, but I think we finally found the maximum capacity now. I don't think we're going to get any bigger in size and also complexity. So with what we're working with now, we've got the choir and then we've got the band. So we've got about a 12-piece choir, which is one set of arrangements. So I tend to do those first. So the first thing I'll do of a new season, which starts kind of now, really, just before Christmas, as you've seen tonight, we've been agreeing set list. So what I'll be doing from now until kind of March time is doing piano parts and choir arrangements. So that's the first thing to do, because they've all got to be printed and sorted ready for the sort of early summer choir rehearsals. And then I start on band parts a bit later. So kind of throughout the summer, I'll be arranging band parts for our 15-piece band, roughly, where we're at now. So that's kind of stage 2. This one's quite the challenge for me. So I'm slightly bonkers enough to do 2 other productions a year. So my diary is basically a careful balancing act of allowing all these projects to have basically slots in the year so they don't kind of collide too much. So I kind of do Jumbo from, well, I mean, they all kind of go all year round, but really the weight of them shifts around in the year. So I do Jumbo from kind of summer till September, and then I also run a youth theatre company, and that runs from beginning of the year and that ends in October, and then I do a panto over the winter season as well. So they all just about line up and kind of go one after the other. And then I do actually work full-time as well. So there are pinch points. I would say September, October is always completely bonkers, and I use up all my annual leave in those months, because that's when all 3 shows tend to kind of really get quite intense. And there is one period every year where I think there's a week where all 3 shows actually collide for just 1 week, and then it's fine after that.
So with that,
so something, well, like I've already said to Matt and Rachel, actually, before we started the season, I kind of know what's going to be required of me in the various different projects I do. So actually, one of the decisions, helpfully we've made this year is we're going to try and, oh, sorry, was that annoying? We're going to try and reuse some material where we can, so that actually I'm arranging less from scratch this year, because that's really where that's what takes months really to put all of that together. So that's one challenge that we kind of identified, and I said, okay, well, let's find a solution to that. other challenges. Do you mean challenge in terms of time or just any challenges?
Just any challenge.
The other challenges for me is the obvious, really. When we get some really eclectic new songs through the door, there's always a period of going, actually, how are we going to deliver this song with the voices we've got, with the instruments we've got? Do we need any other instruments? And there's a kind of period of problem solving musically that goes on as well. I have to say, I mean, aside from, it's the reason I do all of these, and I, do a lot of community projects. It's the reason I have a full-time job and actually just really enjoy doing these things in my spare time and get a lot out of that. I don't feel like I need to go and do that as a job to be satisfying or gratifying. But I have to say, aside from the charity element, which is of course very meaningful, when we spend so much time with the charities and really get to know them and see the impact, that's incredibly special. But for me, on a music level, the thing that keeps bringing me back is there is absolutely nothing else like the feeling of writing some music for a bunch of players or some singers, and then actually hearing them. I listened to it on a computer for about 6 months, and then you get it in the room and you hear real humans play the music that you've written down on a page, and when it all actually sounds okay, that's the most incredible feeling from where I'm sat. Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest cliche, isn't it? But I come from a film and TV background, is where I work professionally, and with all these things, with theatre, with film, these things actually do take an army, and it's amazing how many volunteers and how much work goes on behind the scenes. So yeah, it's really great to collaborate, and I really enjoy all aspects. I get very involved in doing lighting plots and getting involved in tech and sorting microphones and all that kind of thing as well. So, but that falls a little bit outside of my remit, so it's good to bring in those external people to help.
So this song.
I think what we're going for this year, in terms of how the audience are going to feel, we're trying to really, for good reason, we're trying to repeat the model that's worked so successfully over the last couple of years. There is definitely an element of saying, if we found something that really works, it sells tickets, people leave it absolutely loving it, then why would we kind of rip the carpet up and start again every year? If we found a model and a format that people love and is working, then why would we ruin that? So the idea is that it's an evening of musical theatre, which, to be honest, is very widely appealing. It's hard to go too far wrong. If people know they're coming to musical theatre, you're going to kind of come if you like musical theatre. And yeah, we just it wants to be light. There's definitely emotional moments in there because of the charities we're working with. We want it to have that sort of meaningful impact. We'd like to include some real kind of character and DNA of the charities in the shows, which is really important to us. But it's about feel good, leaving, singing the songs, humming them for the next few days. Then we've done our job right if they're doing that.
Yeah. This is the first instalment of Page the Stage. We will catch up with our Jumbo Ensemble directors when rehearsals start in May. Since the initial recording, the name of the show has been changed and is now You Raise Me Up. Tickets are now on sale and selling out quickly. Get yours from www.jumboensemble.org. If you have any questions relating to the build of a West End style show, then please post them in the comments and we'll ask our directors.